Imagine a band so radical it had to literally split in two before it even recorded a single song. Today, we're going to dive into the wild origin story of Amon Düül II, the German pioneers who didn't just play music, they lived it, they fought over it, and they ended up changing it forever.
So take a look at this. This is them around 1972. You know, they've got the long hair, the wild outfits. They look like your classic 70s rock band, right? But don't let that image fool you. This picture captures a moment of success, for sure, but it totally misses the political, communal chaos that started the whole thing.
And I'm not talking about your typical creative differences here. We're talking about an entire art commune that ripped itself in half over one single question. Is music for everybody, or is it just for people with talent? That fight created two rival bands with almost the exact same name. It's just wild.
All right, so our story doesn't start in a recording studio. Nope, it begins in a radical art commune in late 1960s Munich, a place that was just buzzing with all this political and creative energy.
You see, the original Amon Düül commune was built on this incredible idea, just pure creative anarchy. If you lived there, boom, you were in the band. It didn't matter one bit if you could actually play an instrument. The goal wasn't some perfect song. It was about making a collective noise, a sound that expressed the spirit of the group. Well, everything changed the moment a record deal got put on the table. All of a sudden, their everyone's a musician philosophy just slammed head-on into the real world. The musicians who were actually skilled saw a huge opportunity, a chance to make something that would last. But the idealists, they saw it as a total betrayal of their anti-commercial beliefs. So the commune fractured. The purists boycotted the whole thing, and the others, the ambitious ones, they broke away and became Amon Düül II.
So, freed from the commune's strict ideals, Amon Düül II could finally just let loose. They could unleash their full musical ambition, and they were about to help create a sound that would define a whole generation of German music, Krautrock.
Okay, so for anyone who's not familiar, Krautrock wasn't just a style of music. It was a cultural rebellion. Post-war German bands were just sick and tired of imitating American blues and British rock. They wanted to create something that was brand new, something that was totally German. And the result was often these long, hypnotic, and just wildly experimental tracks.
And Amon Düül II didn't just dabble in the scene. Oh no. As the music magazine The Wire put it, they were a cornerstone of the entire movement. I mean, think about that. A band that was born from an argument became a pillar of a whole new genre of music.
Their first album was just pure, uncut Amon Düül II. With the very provocative title Phallus Dei, which means God's phallus, it was basically their sprawling improvisational live show captured on vinyl. They've been perfecting these jams for months in underground clubs and universities, and now the whole world was about to hear it.
And really quickly, the unique sound got noticed way beyond the underground scene. They achieved something pretty remarkable, and it all boils down to a single number: 1. So what could the number 1 possibly mean for a brand new experimental band?
Well, get this. Just 1 year after their debut, they won a German Film Award, which is kind of like their version of an Oscar, for a film score. This wasn't just underground success anymore. Their super weird, avant-garde sound was actually breaking into the mainstream.
This early win basically kicked off an unbelievably creative period for them. We're now heading into their peak years, a total creative explosion where they released a whole string of albums that are still considered genre-defining classics today.
I mean, just look at this pace. An album a year. And these were not simple pop records, let me tell you. Yeti was a huge, sprawling double album, and Tanz der Lemminge, The Dance of the Lemmings, was this super complex, multi-part progressive rock epic. This was a band at the absolute top of their game.
And this was the core group of musicians that made it all happen. You had this incredible mix of sounds: soaring violins, swirling keyboards, dueling guitars. And right at the heart of it all was Renate Knaup. As the only woman in the band, her powerful, really distinctive vocals became one of their most iconic and haunting trademarks.
And here's a really fascinating detail. Even as they were becoming professional musicians, signing record deals and touring all over Europe, they never completely let go of their roots. They kept living together as a band in their own commune, keeping that collective spirit alive and well.
But, you know, that level of intense creativity is so hard to sustain. The band's journey was far from over, though, so let's dig into their lasting and, of course, fittingly chaotic legacy.
They even managed to crack the American market, signing with the major label Atlantic Records in the mid-70s. But by 1981, the classic lineup had pretty much gone their separate ways. But the story doesn't end there. The spirit of Amon Düül II turned out to be incredibly tough, with reunions and new music popping up for decades to come.
I mean, over a journey of more than 50 years, the lineup was pretty much a revolving door, as you'd expect. The band also weathered some really significant losses, with key members like drummer Peter Leopold and bassist Lothar Meid passing away. So the people changed, but their groundbreaking music, that endures.
So this brings us full circle, doesn't it? Amon Düül II was born from conflict, a messy, chaotic split over what art is even supposed to be. And from that chaos, they created a sound that was truly revolutionary. It really makes you wonder, is a little bit of chaos the secret ingredient for true, lasting genius?